Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
Who is that mysterious stranger?
Have you seen The Invisible Man?
And why is everyone in this movie awful?
All this and more on Gory Storytime.
Warning. Gory Storytime is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Storytime. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig. And quickly, before we get into anything, I'm going to answer those 3 questions. 1, the Invisible Man. 2, no, of course not. And 3, good question.
Yes, and yes. So, welcome to the show where we review horror movies.
This week, we promised on our last episode, which was 2 weeks ago, because they had some stuff at the studio that had to be done, so we didn't have the opportunity to do a show last week, but we're making up for it. I promised that we would review the original Invisible Man, since we did the most recent remake.
Yeah.
The part of the Dark Universe one that they were doing.
Kinda.
Well, I mean, that was the intent. This is a very different movie, but for those who don't know, The Invisible Man is about a scientist who turns himself invisible and then is trying to figure out how to fix that. He's got people looking for him, a girlfriend, for example.
His science buddy was looking for him too.
Yeah. And then he decides, okay, I'm a jerk and should be evil.
Yeah. Just like that.
Like, completely randomly. He was supposed to be just this
At
nice
the-
guy, turned invisible, and apparently invisible makes you a jerk.
Yeah.
We'll get into more of that after, but that's the basic premise.
Yep. And do we do the trailer right now?
I mean, you should probably bring that up, yeah.
Yeah, I think we do the trailer now, so that.
Bandages right up to the top of his head, all round his ears.
Flora's worried about Griffin.
I had a terrible feeling last night. I felt he was in desperate trouble.
He meddled in things men should leave alone.
Not the slightest clue. That's where the clues are. He wasn't leaving anything to chance.
There must be a way back. God knows there's a way back.
Are you going to help?
If only they'd leave me alone.
It's the stranger with the goggles. He's gone mad.
You're crazy to know who I am, aren't you? All right, I'll show you. That mania madness when you're peering through the keyholes and gaping through the curtains. And now you'll suffer for it.
But why? Why do it, Griffin? Just a scientific experiment at first. To do something no other man in the world had done. Suddenly I realized the power I held. The power to rule. To make the world grovel at my feet.
You know who the Invisible Man is, Doctor. Where is Dr. Griffin?
What's the good of concealing it?
Oh, come and stay with us. Let's fight this thing out together.
Police, quickly. The Invisible Man is in my house. He's mad. He's killed a man tonight. Believe me, as surely as the moon will set and the sun will rise, I shall kill you tomorrow night. The secret of invisibility lies there in my books. Don't you see what it means? Power. Power to walk into the gold vaults of the nations, into the secrets of kings, into the
Holy of Holies. Power to make multitudes run, squealing in terror at the touch of my little invisible finger. Even the moon's frightened of me. The whole world's frightened to death.
I'll lay traps that even an invisible man can't pass. Radio stations now. Watch the wall.
Help! Help! He's here! He's here!
Here we go.
Yeah,
All right.
so
Well, that's-
you just watched the movie.
Yeah, that's proof that they share too much in trailers, even back in 1933 when...
Who was watching trailers?
Holy cow. Is there anything you want to say before we get into the rest of the show, like about the plot and everything? Or we'll probably discuss...
I mean, I do definitely...
Well, we get to the recommendations at the
Yeah.
end.
So let's...
All right. Well, before we do the behind-the-scenes information, of course, this is why we're really here. We use this as a way to make fat stacks of cash.
Oh, yeah.
Fat stacks. Just because
Piles of money.
we're basically whores for cash, which
You know
is
it.
usually...
That's most of what that is.
Yeah, I mean... But what we do is we pimp out your products for money. These are real products that actually exist in stores, etc.
Etc.
And this week, Gory Storytime is brought to you by the Universal Monster Joke Book, full of jokes about the Wolfman, Mummy, Dracula, Frankenstein, and more. This joke book is perfect for kids because, let's be honest, it isn't funny. For funny jokes, look for the Universal Monster Adult Joke Book. And you can look for both wherever books are sold. There's lots of places where books are sold still.
Yeah. And by Awful People of America. The APA is a group that protects the disenfranchised.
Yep.
Folks who most people consider to be just bad. If you are simply awful and get your feelings hurt by names like douchebag, asshole, or dickhead, you should know your rights. The Awful People of America is here to fight for you.
All right. Now, let's get into the, as you like to call it,
The meat and beef of the show.
Yes. Boris Karloff had been Universal's original choice to play the Invisible Man. He was said to have turned it down because he would not be seen on screen.
Oh.
Duh. In reality, a quarrel with director James Whale broke up that relationship, and the director just decided he wanted someone with more of an intellectual voice, and Karloff's marked lisp had become an issue. Whale selected Claude Rains after accidentally hearing his screen test being played in another room. Until this film, Rains had primarily been a stage actor. Although he had appeared in one silent movie, Build Thy House, in 1920. This was his first sound film.
Claude Rains' performance in this film inspired Mark Hamill's portrayal of the Joker.
Really, Batman did it? I don't think that's
I
accurate.
mean, I could see it a little.
Boris Karloff and Colin Cave were both considered to play the lead. Okay, this is basically the same thing. Clive was tempted, but preferred to take the planned vacation back to England. Otherwise, I was just reading the same thing as I read the first time because you're really good at picking and choosing the facts.
Yeah. Gloria Stewart did enjoy working opposite Claude Rains. During filming, when they had scenes together, she claimed her leading man kept backing her into the scenery and hampering her chances to perform. James Whale had to keep everything on an even keel by reminding Claude Rains that he had to share scenes with his leading lady.
I mean, she should be seen more considering...
I mean, he wasn't seen except for once.
The reporter who offers suggestions to the police chief was played by Dwight Frye. He's best known for playing Renfield in Dracula in 1931. He also played Fritz in Frankenstein from 1931, and Carl Glutz in Bride of Frankenstein in 1935.
Oh, okay. As Jack rants to Flora about taking over the world, he strikes a pose similar to Italy's. Where am I?
Typical of, not similar, He strikes a pose typical of Italy's leader, the fascist dictator Benito
Mussolini.
There we go.
There it is. Those are the words.
Good job reading your fact. According to the March 1975 issue of Films in Review, Robert Flowery and Cyril Gardner and Edward Andre DuPont were all considered as director before James Whale was signed. What?
This guy's name is not Edward.
Ewald? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Part of the original Shock Theater package of 52 Universal titles released to television in 1957 followed a year later with Son of Shock, which added 20 more features.
The Invisible Man and Creature from the Black Lagoon are the only Universal monsters that were never used later by Hammer. Unlike Dracula, Frankenstein's character and creature, the Wolfman, and the Mummy.
Chester Morris was initially considered to play Dr. Arthur Kemp.
By the calendar on the wall of the police station, around
An hour and 1 minute.
1 minute and 28 seconds. It's the month of January. In the novel, the story begins in early February. Well, they screwed that up.
Well, damn it. Never mind. Can't watch it.
That ruined the whole movie.
Yep. The wall calendar in the police station, around an hour and 1 minute and 28 seconds, advertises Old Chum / Canada's favorite tobacco.
So at the same time you're looking for my fact, look for your fact. Included among the American Film Institute's 2001 list of 400 movies nominated for the top 100 most heart-pounding American movies. Heart-pounding?
Heart-pounding. You took mine, so I'll take yours.
Oops.
Poster on the brick wall outside the police station
Oh my
around
God.
1 hour and 1 minute and 37 seconds.
So 9 seconds later.
Is advertising the Royal Mail Line to South America and features RMS Asturias.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next time, pick and choose. This movie, The Invisible Man, is a villain. The TV series, The Invisible Man from 2000, made him a sympathetic and presented him in a sympathetic, humorous light. There we go.
All right, the next things we're going to say are spoilers.
Who cares?
The total body count was 122 people.
It's a lot for...
4 murders depicted directly on screen, 18 search party members off screen, and the derailment of a train, which results in 100 deaths. In total, Dr. Griffin kills 122 people before he is killed, making him one of the most bloodthirsty villains of the old Universal Picture horror films.
According to the information given on TCM before the movie is shown, Claude Rains was also chosen for the role because he spoke with such clarity he could be easily understood. This was important since his face was covered for most of the film. Yeah, in reality, he just did voiceover because, let's be honest, he wasn't because he'd sound like Kenny from South Park.
Right. Although he was the lead in the film and his character is on screen for 95% of the film, on screen, is he? Claude Rains never actually appears on screen until the very last moment.
The basic frame... Wait.
That...
You didn't mark that for either one of us, did you? You dingus. So I'll do this one, you do that one.
All right.
The basic framework of the story and characters' names are largely the same as H.G. Wells' novel. There are several differences, including it takes the novels in the 1890s, the film is in 1933. The novel, Griffin remains completely mysterious with no fiancé or friends. In the film, he's engaged to a woman and has the support of her father and associate. In the novel, he's already insane before becoming invisible. In the film, the invisibility drug causes his madness. In the novel, Kemp lives. In the film, Griffin kills him. And...
Of the top 5 classic Universal Picture horror films, Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, and The Wolfman, The Invisible Man is by far the one with the most humor. During filming, The Invisible Man director James Whale could barely stay composed as one of his favorite female cast members, Una O'Connor, kept him, the cast, and the crew laughing out loud during her scenes.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Now, the Rotten Tomatoes score, and this is going back, I don't know how many of these are newer reviews or older reviews, because digging up all the old reviews that you can is got to be hard for a movie from the 30s. But the people, which would have to be people that voted since
it came out.
Rotten
obviously,
Tomatoes.
Right.
85% like this movie.
And 94% of critics like this movie.
I mean, it's rated pretty highly.
It is. It really is. Most of those movies are.
Yeah.
The sequels is where they started to squash.
Yeah, well. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, and that's a thing.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Wolf's on first. No, that's not how it goes.
Oh my goodness. All right. So now we do the next part of the show.
Which is?
What's your favorite scene?
What's my favorite scene?
Or favorite thing, because we do that
My
sometimes.
favorite thing is the fact that in 1933, they didn't have the advancements that they have now.
Right.
And the special effects for what was possible then were pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, we could do pretty much all of them here at this studio with a green screen at this point, but this is 1933.
Didn't have
Does
green
green screen?
screen.
Well, they had something like it. I just don't know if
was
green
black
really
and
worked
white.
with black and white. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know
have
how they
no
did it.
idea.
There was a lot of things moving on strings and stuff,
And
but
I had a bunch. So, and for the most part, it really does hold up
as far as
the effects.
some of the things where the books and the logs were moving, it was pretty
Like,
hokey. But,
right.
But at least it looked like it didn't have strings holding it or people carrying it.
Right.
I will say, like I said, we could do those same special effects right here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But this was 1933. It's been,
Yeah.
almost 100 years.
It
You would hope
has.
it's improved since then.
Oh yeah.
That was cutting edge at the time, and it's still pretty cool.
So
What was
my
your favorite?
favorite scene was spoiled to you in the trailer, and I said stuff about it in one of the facts, so it doesn't even matter. But the train scene, I thought it was absolutely horrifying and amazing, because here we are, laughing hysterically, right? We really, really were, and then he just derails a train, 'cause he can. What?
Yeah.
Like,
Killing
I'm still
all
like-
of the occupants.
Every single person on the train dead, and he just waltzed up and hit the lever that aims it off a cliff.
Because of course there's a lever that would take a train and put it off a cliff. Why wouldn't you have that lever? It could come in handy if you need to be murdered.
A lot at once.
Yes. So what's... See, now you ask since you
So
started.
what's your least favorite scene?
My least favorite scene isn't a scene. It's it's the entire cast. But I'm going to pick one in particular. All of the people in this movie are awful.
Every single person.
They're either whiny and annoying like his fiance,
or snobby and
or
think they're better
most
than you.
of them are just dinks
For
from
no
top
reason.
to bottom. Like every single person.
It's like, leave me
Whether it's
alone,
his-
then they don't.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
he's
gonna
like an
pick-
asshole.
So
Of course.
I'm going to specifically dig into the woman who owned the tavern with her husband. This guy shows up and he's like, hey, I need this room. I'm going to pay you. Bring me food and then leave me alone. Don't bother me. I don't want people knocking, coming in. Please give me the key. I want the door locked. No one come in. And every time you turn around, she was coming in and getting upset at whatever he was doing, and then told her husband, throw him out. And she screamed so high-pitched and annoying.
Like 90 times.
She is the most hated, and she didn't kill anyone. He kills 122 people. I hate her more.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I hate all of the people. Every single
single
person.
person.
Like, the only one that's not, I mean, his friends that were helping him get away with it.
They were horrible.
Where he's like, hey, I can use this to take over all of
The
the world.
world.
And they're like, okay, I'm going to hide you here and not tell anyone that you're here. It's like,
Or
say that to like calm him and then immediately ring for the friggin' police.
no, I don't like the police either. Just kill him.
Yeah, the police were a-holes too. It's like, you're saying there was an invisible man. You're a dumb... The whole town saw someone invisible. Well, you're all wrong.
Everybody.
It's like, what's that?
What,
50
he
people
ran through-
witnessed this?
He ran through the town on a bike, knocked over a baby, and threw a guy in the water? Not at all.
Yeah.
What?
And then it's like, it was just awful.
All right.
As far as the people. What was your least
So I'm choosing a different person.
Okay. So it's the same thing?
Yes. So I hate how, for the first 10 minutes, freaking heckin'.
Could you?
All right. So
Wow.
the Invisible Man, right? He's like, I really want to fix this. I'm invisible and I hate it. I want to stop being invisible. And then as soon as people are mean to him, he's like, actually, I'll take over the world.
And murder
rape,
people.
Pillage, and murder.
He literally says rape. In
He does.
1933, he's like, I can rape, pillage, and murder the world. It's like, oh my.
Can you now? And he goes from, I want to fix this, to take over the world and murder for no reason. At the flip of a coin.
Well, it was because a woman kept coming in his room after she was asked politely to stop.
Right.
So my least favorite person triggered your thing.
It's so dumb.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this?
Oh. I'm going with an 8. I really am.
I guess it depends for me. If you're watching this for it to have any horror, I'm going to go with a 2. But if you're watching this the way we did, like we tried to watch it the first time and gave up because we were like, oh my gosh, this is awful.
Dull and
the
boring
second time
and
we're like,
horrible.
for some reason we both were like, oh, it's a comedy.
Right.
The entire thing is funny. Okay, they're overacting on purpose because it's hilarious. And then it became a very entertaining film. So with that in mind, I'll agree with the 8. But if you're looking for horrific...
If you're looking for horrific or enjoyable characters to somebody to root for, 1.5.
Oh, you can't root for anybody.
No.
So that's about...
That's about it.
Yeah. Would you recommend it to people?
I certainly recommend this to you if you have a sense of humor.
Yeah. Look at it through that lens.
Don't watch it expecting horror.
No.
Because there is none. I mean...
There's scarier things on Nick Jr.
I mean, it'd be pretty horrific if somebody derailed a train off of a cliff, but nope, laughable. I promise.
Yeah, they made it.
So, yeah, on the side of the screen there, you can watch this show on Fact TV channel 1076, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
You can like us on Facebook, and when I say us, I mean you can like Gory Storytime and Fact TV.
Mm-hmm.
You could watch us streaming live, and then you'd hear things like when he drops an F-bomb in a show that we're not supposed to.
Yeah, but you had me swear during the commercial. I mean, they had me swear during the commercial.
It's a different level, though. You drop the F-bomb, seriously? Come on.
It's about horror movies.
Anyway.
Just stop it. You can go to factdate.com and watch back episodes of this where we've also sworn. Or you can...
Not usually.
Not usually, but it happens. Or you could watch all the other things that they have, all those great board meetings.
There's other shows.
And other shows and stuff like that. You can
also follow us on the Twitter. You follow me at Craig Jakes, all one word, all lowercase.
I'm at Jason T. Jake 17, capital J, capital T, capital J, capital 17.
And he doesn't really use that one that much because he spends most of his time using a separate one in which he tweets out messed up things that come out of my mouth when I'm at home.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, so...
Until next time, first of all, it's October 30th, so happy Halloween.
Yeah.
All right. And until next time, I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig.
And sweet dreams.